Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying back in time, over 4,500 years ago, to a place that was once home to one of the world's greatest ancient civilizations, yet for thousands of years it was completely lost to history, buried beneath the dust of modern-day India and Pakistan. This is the story of the Indus Valley Civilization, the forgotten giant of the ancient world. Imagine a civilization sprawling over 1 million square kilometers, larger than ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia combined. This wasn't a scattered collection of villages. This was a powerhouse of culture, trade, innovation that flourished around 2600 BC for centuries. They built incredible cities, developed unique art, and traded with distant lands, all while the pyramids of Giza were still relatively new. And then they vanished. Their story untold, their language unread, their very existence fading into myth and legend. It wasn't until the 1920s, when archaeologists stumbled upon the ruins of a massive brick-built city, that this lost world began to reveal its secrets. So, grab your virtual explorer's hat, because we're about to uncover the mysteries of this incredible Bronze Age superpower. Let's start with their cities, because they are truly mind-blowing. Forget the winding, chaotic alleys you might picture in an ancient city. The people of the Indus Valley were master urban planners. Their largest settlements, like the famous Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, were laid out on a precise grid system. Streets ran straight, intersecting at perfect right angles, almost like a modern-day city block. This wasn't accidental. It was deliberate, sophisticated planning on a scale unseen anywhere else at the time. The houses were typically built with standardized, baked bricks, a testament to their advanced manufacturing techniques. And get this. Many homes had their own private bathrooms and wells, and this wasn't just a luxury for the elite. This points to a society that deeply valued hygiene and public health. Wastewater from these homes flowed into a complex covered drainage system that ran underneath the main streets, carrying sewage away from the living areas. This sanitation network was more advanced than what many European cities had thousands of years later, even into the Roman era and beyond. It's absolutely remarkable. At the heart of these cities, you'd often find a raised, fortified area known as the citadel. Here, archaeologists have uncovered massive public structures. One of the most famous is the Great Bath at Mohenjo-Daro. This was a huge waterproofed brick pool, about 12 meters long and 7 meters wide. Was it a public bath for ritual cleansing? Sacred pool for religious ceremonies? We don't know for sure, but its meticulous construction suggests it held immense importance for the community. Alongside these structures were massive granaries, enormous buildings designed to store surplus grain. This tells us they had a highly organized agricultural system, capable of producing enough food to support a large, non-farming urban population of artisans, traders, and leaders. It's a clear sign of a complex, well-managed society. So who were these incredible city builders? What was their daily life like? While we do have royal tombs filled with gold or giant statues of kings like in Egypt or Mesopotamia, the artifacts they left behind paint a vivid picture of a bustling and productive society. They were skilled artisans. Archaeologists have found beautiful pottery, intricate beadwork made from semi-precious stones, and stunning bronze and terracotta figurines. One of the most famous artifacts is a small bronze statue of a dancing girl, her pose confident and full of life. Another is a stone bust of a priest king, a stern-looking man with a trimmed beard, wearing an embroidered robe. These objects give us a tantalizing glimpse into their art, their fashion, and perhaps their social structure. They were also great traders. Indus seals, small stone stamps, carved with animal motifs, and their mysterious script have been found as far away as Mesopotamia in modern-day Iraq. This is concrete evidence of a thriving long-distance trade network. They likely exported cotton textiles. They were among the first people in the world to cultivate cotton as well as timber, ivory, and precious stones. In return, they imported metals and other raw materials. This trade connected them to the wider world, making them a key player in the ancient global economy. But this brings us to one of the biggest mysteries of all, their language. The Indus people had a system of writing, a beautiful script made up of hundreds of unique signs and symbols. We see it on their seals, on pottery, and on small tablets. Here's the frustrating part. Nobody can read it. To this day, the Indus script remains undeciphered. We have thousands of examples, but the inscriptions are incredibly short, usually just a handful of symbols. Without a Rosetta Stone, a multilingual text to help us crack the code, we coup and hear their stories in their own words. We don't know the names of their kings or queens, the prayers of their priests, or the tales of their poets. It's like finding a massive library where every single book is locked. This silent script is perhaps the biggest barrier to truly understanding the heart and soul of their civilization. What secrets are locked away in those elegant symbols? The puzzle doesn't end there. After about 700 years of stability and prosperity, something went wrong. Around 1900 BC, this great civilization began to decline. The cities started to shrink, the meticulous urban planning broke down, and the quality of construction waned. Trade with Mesopotamia dried up, and their distinctive writing system and seals disappeared. By about 1800 BC, the great cities like Mohenjo-Daro were largely abandoned. So what happened? What could bring such a powerful and organized civilization to its knees? This is another huge debate among historians and archaeologists. There's no single, easy answer, but there are several leading theories. One popular idea is climate change. Evidence suggests that the monsoon patterns in the region shifted around this time. The rains became less reliable, leading to prolonged droughts. This would have devastated their agriculture, which was the foundation of their entire society. Without enough water for their crops, the large urban populations couldn't be sustained. The granaries would empty, and people would be forced to abandon the cities in search of food and water. Another theory points to invasion. Some early scholars suggested that waves of Indo-Aryan migrants, warriors from Central Asia, swept down into the subcontinent and conquered the Indus cities. The ancient Hindu texts, the Vedas, speak of battles and the destruction of forts. However, archaeological evidence for widespread warfare and destruction at the major Indus sites is very thin. There are no layers of ash and rubble indicating a massive conquest, and few signs of a violent end for the population. While conflict may have played a role, a full-scale invasion is now considered less likely to be the sole cause of collapse. A third possibility is a combination of factors, including internal decline. Perhaps the system just became too complex to manage. A decline in trade could have crippled their economy. Environmental degradation, like deforestation or the salinization of the land from irrigation, could have made farming more difficult. It's very likely that a perfect storm of climate change, shifting river courses, economic disruption, possibly social unrest, all contributed to the gradual breakdown of the Indus society. Probably wasn't a sudden cataclysm, but a slow, painful unraveling over several generations. The people didn't just die out, they likely dispersed into smaller villages. Their urban culture and centralized authority fading away, their knowledge and traditions slowly transforming or being lost over time. And so, the Indus Valley Civilization fell silent. Its great cities were swallowed by the earth, its undeciphered script forgotten, its achievements erased from human memory. For over 3 millennia, it was as if they had never existed. When the British began archaeological surveys in India in the 19th century, they found mounds with ancient bricks, but had no idea of the scale of what lay beneath. Local legends spoke of ancient ruins, but no one connected them to a lost civilization predating all known Indian history. The rediscovery in the 1920s was a bombshell, pushed the history of civilization in India back by thousands of years, revealing a previously unknown first chapter. Suddenly, ancient India stood shoulder to shoulder with Egypt and Mesopotamia as one of the world's earliest cradles of civilization. But because it was forgotten for so long, and because we still can't read its script, the Indus Valley Civilization remains shrouded in mystery. We see their magnificent cities and their beautiful art, but we can't fully grasp their beliefs, their politics, or their worldview. They are a silent giant, a testament to the fact that history is not just a story of what we remember, but also of what we have forgotten. The quest to understand them continues, with each new excavation and each new attempt to crack their script bringing us one step closer to hearing their voice after 4,000 years of silence. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the past. What do you think is the most fascinating mystery about the Indus Valley Civilization? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to explore more lost worlds with me, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow. Till next time, stay curious.